I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the f out of my bar.
Deadpool and Wolverine was so funny. There are a lot of people who don't like it, and that's okay. Did it have the best story and the best plot? Hell no. Was it entertaining and fell within the realms of a Deadpool movie? Yes, it did. But the one thing I wouldn't imagine people walking away with is it being homophobic. Yeah, that one threw me for 6. So we have articles like Vox and Out claiming that Deadpool and Wolverine has homophobic jokes, and they're talking about gayness in a Deadpool movie. I'm so confused, because of all the things I would have taken away from this movie, that would not have been it, unless that's all you're obsessed about. Even people on Reddit are saying that there's a lot of queer people in life who approach their queerness through humor, and the people complaining about it on the internet need to get out more and make more friends with other queer people in real life. It must also be a perspective thing, because I didn't look at Deadpool and Wolverine's trailer and think to myself, oh my god, I ship them. They totally have the hots for each other. Not every character whose name is put beside or underneath another character means that those characters are going to end up banging. I get it's normal for people to want to ship characters, but goodness gracious, it seems to be the only thing that people are obsessed over nowadays. He has more intimacy with the freaking dog. Deadpool is like Captain Jack Harkness, the hottie guy that will screw anything and everyone. Of course, in the realms of space travel and time travel, it makes total sense because you're gonna meet so many different aliens and your horizons are gonna be broadened and stretched out beyond repair. And with Deadpool, I guess it makes sense too, because he is a person who lived a really crazy life and was exposed to a lot of things. Part of his whole shtick is how much of a heathen he is. So seeing him make out with a dog is kind of on par with Deadpool, even though it's freaking gross.
Slow motion
It's weird that people would think a marketing poster like this is facetious, because as we can see, Wolverine's claws, or his hand, is just sitting there and Deadpool is flirting with it. Deadpool is a huge flirt with every and anything. So why is this an issue? This is the first time we've seen this.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s. Dad?
So him flirting with a bunch of people, it's not new. And so the marketing for the movie cannot be fairly called facetious, because that is Deadpool. These people have an issue also, not just with this poster, but the other proof is the Beauty and the Beast. Obviously, he's parodying things, which Deadpool has always done. And this doesn't necessarily mean that it's sexual. It's just Wolverine is a beast, and Deadpool puts himself as the bitch in this situation because Wolverine is just so filled with testosterone, he's an animal. That's the play on that. I didn't think it would be a difficult thing to pick up with this. It's as if people didn't see the first 2 movies or who have no idea who Deadpool is or what his personality is. And of course, we have the popcorn bucket. Which I do. I didn't. Oh my god. Stop. Oh my god, are people really getting angry over this? What in the world? Oh my god. Where can I get that? And why is it the hole so large? Okay. This is so. Ew. It's so. Stop. He's making it uncomfortable. And that's what Deadpool does. He makes it uncomfortable. So the person is like, the idea of Deadpool and Wolverine sharing feelings for each other could be interpreted as funny in that they're playing against hype. Although there's a little more at work here. Both characters are sexually fluid in their comic book source material. Really? I did not know that about Wolverine. There was never any indication, so far as I know with my little limited knowledge of Wolverine from the comics, that Wolverine was anything other than straight. And if he isn't, then okay. But in the movies, we've not seen that. And I like how they, of course, it says, obviously the degree of that openness depends on the writers, but Wolverine, specifically in the most recent publishing era where everything is gay now, let's not joke around. Every single thing that has come out in the recent publishing era turns out to be more sexually open.
Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't gay enough for me. Spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine. So we all know that in the comics, Deadpool is supposedly pansexual. Now, the reason I say supposedly is, yeah, they promote him as being pansexual, but for the most part, we've never seen him dating anyone outside of a femme-presenting character.
So with the official announcement of Deadpool 3, the real question is, how gay is it going to be? Deadpool is canonically pan and in love with Spider-Man. Wolverine's fucked both Nightcrawler and Cyclops. Sometimes Jean is present. And don't get me started on Deadpool and Wolvie themselves, let alone Hugh and Ryan. So, I only have one request. Can we get Spider-Man, Andrew Spider-Man, and also Venom, and can I watch? I want the tentacles. Deadpool, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Venom. Because it's like I've always said, the real winners always have been and always will be the girls, the gays, and the monster fuckers.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, and also Deadpool needs to actively be like, why is Wanda working with the Nazis? Sean Levy, I expect this, you're Jewish, fix it, fix all the Jewish shit. Oh, come, call me, we'll talk.
Wild realizing that Wade Wilson's now the queerest character in the MCU because Deadpool and Wolverine was an effed up love story. He was thirsting after Wolverine hardcore, extra on the hard, and he aggressively flirted with multiple people.
Look, there's nothing wrong necessarily with shipping characters, but everyone making this the big takeaway of Deadpool being queer as though they're just now realizing that he is so freaking strange to me. I guess there's a lot of things you can glean from a Deadpool movie, but you literally cannot please everyone. And there are some people saying that, yet it's the gayest Marvel movie, or Deadpool is the queerest he's ever been, or the queerest character, but yet it's also homophobic and not queer enough because apparently Wolverine and him didn't kiss. As if it's completely escaped people that everybody that a queer character is into might not be into them. And even if you go with the recently queered Wolverine, just because he might be queer, which we haven't gotten any indication of in the MCU or in Fox, doesn't mean he's going to return affections for Deadpool. Maybe if they had a TV show in enough time and there was a lot of, you know, of that there between them, the chemistry could be there. But that's the other thing that I don't understand with modern day shows and movies. And it's, hey, these straight characters, they're shipping the straight characters in the show and the writers are writing them to be in a relationship. Why does every boy and girl have to always be romantically involved? Why can't it be platonic? But then on the flip side, the same people are saying that platonic people who are same sex, have to be in a relationship. It's like, oh my god, they're platonic. Why are they not gay? Why are they not together? So you can't have your cake and eat it. And I hate repeating that saying because it makes no sense. If you're eating a cake, it means you have it. You have to have it to eat it in the first place. Who came up with that shit?
Story, like I know in an Elseworld story he was dating Iceman, but in the main continuity, like I know currently he's dating a non-binary character, but even that non-binary character is femme presenting, so it still creates an outwardly heteronormative narrative.
The other thing that people are forgetting, and I'm not a queer person, and maybe people will say, well, you have no right to speak on this. Well, I'm speaking on it, deal with it. But I just find it very interesting because I do realize that there is a spectrum, as people say, these are queer people that are saying this, that even if you were bi, you usually lean towards something. And queer people have also said, everywhere I have gone, everything that I've seen, has said that nobody is directly in the middle if they're bi. Bro, what in the tittysaurus? Damn, those look like mine. Anyway, nobody is ever directly in the middle, and I understand. Like, if you like men and women, you're usually gonna, you're usually gonna prefer one over the other. So maybe it's possible that Deadpool may physically and sensually be involved with men, but not romantically, or maybe his queerness goes as far as just flirting with people and having one-offs with them. Why does it always have to be strictly down the middle or saying that he's pansexual, so if he's with another guy, it means he's always going to have to fuck this person? I don't think he'll pass up the opportunity, but it doesn't necessarily mean people are gonna want to fuck an avocado either.
Haunting.
When I saw Deadpool years ago, the last thing that was on my mind, actually after having seen the first two, is, oh my god, Deadpool's so pan, wow. But I guess for people who they're used to seeing their identity only at the first and forefront chief vision of everything that they do, that would be their one takeaway from the movie. Not to say everybody that saw the movie that it's the only thing that they took away from it, but it's making it seem as though it is when people write articles like this, where aside from talking about all the other fun things about the movie, they hone in on that one thing. Oh my god, he's pansexual, so why didn't they bang? We have the hub for that. We have animators on the hub and on X videos and all those things that can make those fan fictions for everyone to see. But I think they understand that most people who are going to the movie to see Deadpool are not going there necessarily to see him bang Wolverine. They're going to see a Deadpool and Wolverine movie to see Deadpool and Wolverine fight each other and then team up like they did with Godzilla and Kong. Some people probably have spent a little bit too much time on the dark side of the internet, thinking that if you have two titles, two titular characters in the same title, it somehow means that they're gonna have a flesh sword fest, and that they're somehow gonna be using their meats to tenderize each other. So I feel kind of bad that that's what they expected, and it just shows that maybe you need to broaden your horizons of the internet a little bit. So here's the thing, right? They said in this part of the article, some critics have said that since Deadpool jokes about any and everything, of course he's gonna joke about his sexuality from time to time. However, when he talks about his girlfriend Vanessa, he suddenly gets serious and earnest and drops the jokes. Why can't he do the same jokes about same-sex attraction?
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I mean, call me crazy here, but, and I might be wrong, but it seems as though he gets serious and earnest about Vanessa, because he's in love with her? Could just be me, though. Maybe half of my brain is missing, and I'm convinced that it probably is, because I am quite stupid, but even I can detect the difference in Vanessa and him having fallen in love with someone and him not taking other relationships seriously because he's not in love with those people because he doesn't necessarily care about them. Okay?
Saturn right now. But I appreciate the gesture.
Am I crazy?
In the meantime, you might want to leave the room. I bet it feels huge in this hand.
Woo! Superhero landing! You're a lovely lady, but I'm saving myself for Francis. That's why I brought him.
I prefer not to hit a woman, so please play.
Knocking his brains out.
Oh, I so pity the dude who pressures her into prom sex.
But I think the most obvious reason why Deadpool probably doesn't joke about women, you know, particularly, is he might be more romantically involved with Vanessa. But here's the thing. I don't know what it is, but it seems as though making jokes at women's expenses is now somehow misogynistic. So they're mad when they do make jokes or make fun of women in movies because that's misogynist, but then they're angry because they don't. If he was in love with someone who was a man, then it would make a difference, but all these other people he's joking about, regardless of them being same-sex, he doesn't feel that way about them. So I don't know why they're making this an issue. In Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool's entire motivation, the person says, is to show Vanessa that he can be serious, so accordingly, when he talks to and about her, he's genuine and mature. Not all the time. Then he turns around and talks about his attraction to men, and it's purely jokes and over-the-top sex. I don't know, maybe it's also because men can more so take a joke?
Damn.
Now, does that mean that Disney doesn't have a lot of work to do when it comes to promoting and displaying same-sex relationships? No, they definitely do. They seem to have a hard time doing that and also have a hard time not making black people into animals in animation.
Okay, Batman, we'll take it from here. All right, listen up. All of you have the right to remain silent.
Disney hated black people in the 90s. Hated black people. Think about it. They made movies about white characters like Beauty and the Beast, Asian characters like Mulan, Native American Pocahontas, Middle Eastern Aladdin. But as soon as it came to Africans, they were like, nope, talking animals. The Disney executives are like, there's no way kids are going to relate to black people. Make them lions that sing. But have the main character grow up without a father.
But yes, I'd say that they have a long way to go, and it's possible that they're not jumping over the moon to hurry up and portray same-sex characters in the majority of their stuff because it would be hard to sell it to places across the world that majority of people aren't down with that. What I don't appreciate is when they take characters and they force them into a role like that, just to pander or appeal to people without putting any thought or organic feeling behind it. If you're putting a character in your movie just to be gay for gay's sake, people can see through that. But I think that, and again, I might be wrong, that the majority of people when they watch movies, they're not watching the movies particularly to see a person who is gay or a certain ethnicity. They're watching it for the story. The person happens to be that. Fine, if it's about their culture, then it makes sense. But forcing characters to get together just because a small sect of people say that's what they want doesn't really seem like the right move to me. There's so many people out there that can tell stories about gay characters and straight characters, and you should tell those stories. But forcing them into franchises and making characters that weren't otherwise this ethnicity or orientation all of a sudden now change to suit people because they wanted them to change lanes is called pandering, and it's very annoying and people can see through it, even the people that you're pandering to. All of that being said, I certainly don't think a Deadpool movie is the hill to die on when it comes to that, but that's just me. We've always got fanfiction, animation, and Wattpad, so if you want your kicks, you can get them there. I find it gross and comical that the fricking Zoophiles got their kiss, and the people shipping Wolverine and Deadpool are like, oh my god, it's not fair. How did they fight in the van and not fuck? I'm kidding. Or maybe not. I don't know. My question would be, since they both can heal, you know, like that would, if they... No.